Are you using your intuitive, psychic, spiritual gifts without even knowing it? Hi, it's Latoya with the Dreamery Hypnosis, and it's not a secret that I believe we all have special gifts and are able to connect to universal cosmic information and use it every day. So in this video, I'm going to list some very common job, career, personal characteristics that are actually utilizing our intuitive gifts. And some of these may actually surprise you. Before getting started, and as always, coming from a space of authenticity and integrity, it is my intention to demystify the mystical when it comes to our spiritual, psychic, intuitive gifts and give real-world examples of how our intuitive gifts can and are being used on a practical, mundane level, and to add awareness so that you may look within yourself to discover how you may be using your own intuitive gifts. So I've got 11 examples for you, and you'll want to stick around for number 10 and 11 because these are going to be something slightly different and something that you would not expect. Before getting started too, anyone can learn a skill. When I talk about using intuitive gifts, and when I talk about intuitive gifts, these are your gifts that help you tap into or read into a situation outside of using your five senses. So not being able to see, hear, smell, taste, or feel it, but still being able to read into something. This is what I mean by using your intuitive gifts. Anyone can learn a skill, but being able to use a special gift along with that skill is these type of careers and jobs and characteristics that I'm talking about that use that use intuitive gifts. So number one is a teacher, a coach, a trainer. So being able to take information and explain it in a way that others can understand is a gift, right? I call this like a translator gift, the gift of translation, right? To be able to take all kind of information and to be able to condense it, concise it, and be able to share it with someone else to be able to spread along this information in a way that someone can understand. And especially when it comes to teachers who are working with children, that's a gift alone, being able to work with kids. But anyone that you're teaching, because you have to understand your students' learning style. Like if you're working with children, you have to understand the child's learning style outside of, what they can tell you. Because sometimes a child can't tell you, I don't understand, I don't get it. They may not understand that they don't understand, or they may be confused. So you really have to be able to read into, watch this child, see how they're learning, and be able to read into what they may or may not need. So this is why I consider this using an intuitive gifts. If you're working in this field and you're using your intuitive gifts, that's how you use it, by being able to help these children out. An example I knew someone when they were younger in middle school, and they had behavioral issues. They were just cutting up, just didn't want to listen. And they just was, disrupting the classroom. And they were just one of those children. And so it's so easy to form an opinion of a child like this and not maybe give the child the attention that this child may be needing. And so, yes, the child spent a lot of time in detention. And there was this one teacher who was like, that could see past this child's behavior, that could read into this child and said, you know what? I see a leader in this child. I see this child is a powerful leader, strong leader. Sure enough, into this child's adult years now, this child is a leader. This person is not a child anymore. It's a grown adult, has started their own business, an entrepreneur, leadership if I've ever. So, and so I just want to share that story, and that it did take a teacher who was able to read into that to empower this child, to speak life into this child instead of writing the child off. Okay, so that's just an example. Next is going to be daycare or childcare. So again, working with children, being able to work with children is a gift. It's a gift to understand a child's cry when they're fed, when they're dry, and they're not physically hurt, and they still have a need. And when I think of this, I think of, the ultimate mother, like the mother energy. And to me, that is the foundation of intuition, is that mother intuition, that it's a very feminine energy. But nevertheless, not saying that men can't use it, just to understand when I think of intuition, it's an internal compared to masculine would be external, showing action and taking action and making moves. Anyway. So when I think of the mother, I think of the foundation of intuition. So having that patience to meet a child's needs who can't verbally tell you what's wrong. And that's that reading into. So that's when I think of those who just love to take care of children and who would like, and again, these are not just for careers that are jobs. These are for everyone can hold this type of energy within them, this type of skills without having to get paid to do it or do paid work. So, I have a family member too who will be like, oh, watch your child. Oh, watch your child. Like, they just love to watch children. Like, they don't mind it. So sometimes these come innate to us. So anyway, to being able to read into a child's needs without them being able to tell you, it's intuition. Okay. Number 3, I have psychologist or a therapist. So a lot of that I know psychologists and therapists have had their own past issues and they have overcome them. And that's why they want to work with people, or they've dedicated themselves to understanding the human mind. And for this, you have to kind of read into what a client may not be saying, being able to pick up on body language and words, the whole nine when it comes to that. And like I said, doesn't have to be a career, right? We all have friends or family members or strangers, if you're one of those people who you're just at the grocery store waiting in line for something and someone just starts spilling the beans, right? You've got a natural therapist, or someone can feel on you that you have a natural listening ability, or there's something about you that people feel safe to share their information with. So if that's you, when people just come and just tell you all their business just because, right? This is can be an intuitive gift as well, because sometimes you have to know what to say or what not to say, because sometimes silence is its own therapeutic technique, right? To help these people be able to turn introspective and be able to make changes, or saying something to inspire them, or to help incite enough passion in them to want to change, or whatever it could be. So being able to find the right words or the not right type of technique to be able to help someone out when they're going through a tough time is definitely very intuitive. Healthcare. So being able to see how a patient is presenting, like they could be, to be able to see if a patient is declining or they're deteriorating, if someone looks sick, right? Again, you don't have to be working in a healthcare field, right? Because you can see your family member, they say, oh, I'm fine, but they're in pain, or they're moving like they're in pain, or something about the way they are makes you feel like they're in pain, even though they may be moving or saying that they're not. Okay. Something like this, being able to read into. And when it comes to healthcare, it's not just about sickness too, it's about wellness. So being able to maintain wellness, working with patients and clients to help understand their lifestyles, and being able to, know what their health history is, and being able to set up plans and implement regimens to help them be able to maximize their health by keeping up with skills. This is all part of healthcare, and this can be you can use intuitive skills while doing this as well. And this is not just for doctors, nurses, CNAs, x-rays, imaging, anything in the healthcare field, right? And I've met some amazing CNAs who are on their stuff. The title doesn't matter. When they have an intuitive gift that they can read into and meet someone's need, it is intuitive, and it has nothing to do with the title, the external title that they hold. Okay. Next this is a fun one. So number 5 is a cook or a chef, because I always say I love people who love to cook because they love people who love to eat. Okay. Hello. It's a great relationship, right? They love to feed people. I actually have a family member like this too, that they, the way them cooking is the way they show love, and they don't ever want to see anyone hungry. And so I find it so intuitive to know, okay, this needs paprika, this needs a little bit of garlic, and you don't have to measure it. They just know what this dish needs to be delicious. Or if you're cooking something, they'll be like, oh, you should do this, that, and the third, and just make your dish come out bomb.com. Okay. And so this is definitely a beautiful intuitive gift here. Also, too, when they can create dishes from scratch like that, I mean, just, such a gift. Number 6 is interior design, home improvement, and renovation. So they're kind of different, of course, from each other, but I kind of lumped them all in the same. If you are familiar with feng shui, which is a Chinese concept of being able to move furniture around and set up a room in a way that ensures that the energy continues to flow and move through a room. When I think of interior design, I think of that same energy of when you get someone who's like, oh, I want to rearrange, when you get that feeling like I want to rearrange my room, Or if you get into someone who does interior design and they love to go into office spaces and look at it and be like, the couch needs to go here. Let's not block the window so the light can come in. Let's not block the door. Let's not have this facing the door. Let's not have this facing. You can get all into it, east, west, if that's your thing. But I find this the same type of energy of being able to pick up, right, what type of arrangement would be best for flowing, especially if you're creative, if you're writing there, if this is a desk, if you make music there, or if you write books there, or whatever it is that you do in this room, having to set it up in a way that keeps energy flowing. So interior design, home improvement, same thing, being able to go into someone's house and fixing things up so that it just looks aesthetically pleasing. That aesthetically pleasing skill sometimes can come off superficial, but truly what it is creating a harmony and a balance energetically. And again, this is why I say these are psychic, intuitive, spiritual gifts, because they lie right below the surface. So it's beyond our five senses, but it's something that we can intuitively feel. And so being able to rearrange a room. Lastly, I did put as well is home improvement, because I love this energy too. This is, something I don't do, but those who want to, they see a house that's about to get, demolished, or they see a home that's just no good and they can buy it and they flip it and they make it absolutely amazing. They take something that was pretty much done and can make it beautiful. This is such a beautiful intuitive gift to be able to see potential into something that, was that one man's trash, another man's treasure, being able to see into that building. An example I have of this, I have a friend, this is kind of off example, but it's the same type of thing where she loves to go to plant stores, or goes to a store and she sees these plants that are on their last leg. These plants look like they're dying. She will buy them, take them home, and bring them back to life. Is that not skills or no? Okay. Like, how amazing is that? And that's something that she loves to do. So when I think of renovation, I think of that same thing. So these are very, very intuitive skills to be able to see potential pass through what you're looking at, because anyone else will look at it and be like, oh, that plant's dying, I don't want it. Oh, that house looks like no good, I don't want to put the work or the energy into it. But these people don't mind. Okay. And speaking of plants, I think about those who work with plants and growing and gardening, having that green thumb people, growing hands people. There's definitely a plant whisperer energy that's needed on top of skills to be able to grow food and grow beautiful flowers and make them look nice. So that is a skill, okay, because I bought the little seed sheet thing during COVID season, okay, and I loved it, but it was good until it wasn't, okay. So some have this beautiful gift and some don't, okay. So that was an unofficial one. But number 7 is a makeup artist, hairstylist, barber. Okay. I almost feel like I shouldn't have to even say this, because, if you ever gone to a barber, hairstylist, and then something, I don't know what happened to the hair and you left feeling like, oh no. Okay. Not always, right? But I do feel like in order to be able to look at someone's face, and again, it's that reading into it. I see your face, the way your face is shaped, the size, your personality, what you do. This cut will look good on you. This hairstyle will look good on you. Let me do your makeup in this way. What event do you have coming up? Is it a wedding? Is it just a fashion show? Is it just a get together, photo shoot, whatever it is? Let me help you meet your image goals that you have for this event, right? And then there's the one that you can show them a picture and they're artistically they can recreate it, or you just tell them an idea and you're like, this is kind of what I'm looking for, and they just do it. They do it and you're so pleased with it because they just have this intuitive gift of being able to tap into to look past what you're saying or what the picture just looks like, to do something that makes you look, or and the ones too that say, ooh, I don't know if that'll look just right on you because of this, that, and the third. Let's try this. And someone who's willing to work with you. Okay. A gift. Because this can be, transformative energy to really help. Just like a house, you can transform a house. You can help transform a person, and making them, doing their makeup, making their hair, it gives them a confidence boost. That is such a beautiful gift, actually. It gives them such a confidence boost. Like when they step outside the shop, they're like, yeah, I feel good. I feel like a new person. You have the power to do that for someone else. And I think that's just amazing to help transform someone else. Okay, number 8 is massage therapist. So moving energy in the body, especially energy that gets stagnant. that, you stressed out and that stuff is in your shoulders, being able to use their hands and just work out that to help create. That's another thing too, when it comes to energetic moving is, for those who understand, like the energy of chi, which I don't understand a whole lot. I know a little bit about it. Chi energy, or your chakra energy, is about, creating alignment so that energies can flow. When, just like in the room, how energies flow in the room, and they have the feng shui or the interior designs, is actually is something that takes place within the body as well. The energy within the body needs to move. So if it is stuck, if there's blockages, the whole nine, that needs to be released. So massage therapy can definitely help with that. So being able to know, okay, you know how they ask you the question, oh, what kind of work do you do? And that's just so they kind of know, so they can know their client, and then they work with you, they talk to you. So what's your needs? What's your goal of being here? Also, we can store emotional energy. We can store trauma in our bodies as well. This is why sometimes you can get a massage if they're working a spot or something that you've been troubled with for a while. It can release emotional crying or have other reactions. And so a story I have about this is, I used to not, and I'm still not, into, I guess, Reiki. Reiki was always something that I never truly understood. I didn't really get it. I get that you just kind of put your hands over someone and you can move energy, and I was not really into that. I mean, to each their own. I'm never going to knock anyone's anything. It wasn't a thing, but I had the very last massage I got was just, I felt such a disconnect. Like, I felt like the person, either they didn't want to be there that day, they didn't want to touch me, which is a horrible feeling, if you're going there. I don't know what the problem was, but it was something that was very, very strongly felt. And then a light bulb went off, and I was like, oh, so maybe this is what the energy of like Reiki is. Like, it doesn't have to be some very extreme, like, oh, I'm putting hands on you and I'm healing you. I don't know. That's how in my mind, I saw Reiki, and I was like, I can't get it. I don't flow with it. But after my experience, it helped me understand that whatever energy that a person is holding in themselves when they're doing work on you, no matter what it is, same thing like with, any of the work, the psychologist, the school teacher, if someone has energy within them that doesn't align with the person they're working with, or if they're not in tune with their own energy or what they're doing, they don't align with it. Or there was one other example I was going to say, or if they just don't want to be doing it, or if they have other issues on their mind, whatever it is, this can kind of come off on the work that they do. So that helped me understand Reiki a little bit more, because had that person, even though they don't have to take a Reiki class, but had that person been like, I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm here for my client, I'm going to connect with my own, with myself and what my purpose and why I'm here, I'm going to show up for this and do this, then that would have been felt, right? And so then I was like, okay, I'm going to give Reiki a break. I'm going to not kind of have that thought of what Reiki is or isn't. Now I'm just going to keep an open mind that Reiki could be beyond something that I truly understand. But one thing I do understand is that people hold energies, and that can be transferred, period. Okay. So massage therapy, if that's your thing and your integrity and you want to be there and you do it, thank you for what you do. Bless your hands. Okay. Number 9 is musician, dancing, artistry. So this is just I find this very gifted and intuitive to be able to create something from a vision or sound or something that's in your head or something that's not in the physical world just yet. You can recreate, and that's a gift of its own, being able to know how to, kind of like cooking. Oh, I know how to play this instrument, and I feel like they kind of like tap in. I find musicians and dancing and that very almost like a channeling type of energy, especially when they're freestyling, and they're freestyle, just playing music as they go. They're a freestyle dancer, or they're painting abstract and they're just painting what comes to mind. I feel like the mind, the middleman part kind of gets out the way, and it's more of just flowing with my hands or flowing with my body. And I find it's a very channeling type of energy, and I find that very intuitive. Okay. Number 10. So this is a interesting one that I have a special, oh my gosh, my heart affinity for housekeeping. Oh my goodness. Listen, mold, pest, dirt, dust. Okay. This is also stagnant energy. Sometimes the energy that's been sitting up in a corner somewhere. And, listen, cleaning is a must for your body, to clean your body, to clean your environment, to clean your diet, to clean your space. I feel like these people aren't afraid to tackle dirt to help remove, energies and help optimize the cleanliness in an area, right? Because that can really affect your health. Like, to have dirt and dust and mold and pests sitting somewhere for too long create diseases, can create allergies. So cleaning is just so important. Energies can settle in the dark. All right, I talked about my mold story before in some videos in the past about me doing some spring cleaning and went under my sink and saw mold growing. Now, had I not done my spring cleaning, had I not gotten under that sink, who knows what that would have looked like whenever I decided to go into that. You know what I mean? Like, whenever I decided to go into that, how much that would have grown, because they don't go away. These things just don't go away. They have to be removed, or there has to be maintenance to keep them away, right? And so that was my mold story. I learned a lesson with that. I'm happy that I cleaned, and it just helped me realize that how important it is to do your maintenance things. It helped me realize too how bad things could have gotten if I decided to ignore that or not do the maintenance work that sometimes people don't want to do. Some people don't want to clean. They don't want to get into the dirty spots. So I love housekeeping because they will do it. They will keep it clean. And that is, to me, a direct tie into our health. So that's why I have a special affinity. You hear about spirits and dark energy. They talk about spirits and dark closets. Oh, you have what's in your closet, the closet, like things are hiding in the closet, cleaning out the closet. These analogies and metaphors are actually directly tied to spiritual concepts, but I have to talk about that in another video. But anyway, or things are hiding in the dark, and this happens because they are left unattended to. These energies and spirits in the spirit realm can be left unattended, and and then they start to manifest physically because now they've been sitting there too long. So housekeeping, I love housekeeping because especially the ones that'll come to your home, like they come in your home, they'll make an assessment. I feel like they're like a doctor. They're like the doctor of like cleaning. Like I really do. I feel it so strongly. Come in your house, they'll make circles around your house. So, okay, so this is what we're thinking. This is the plan, just like you would in like a hospital. Okay, this is what came up. This is what we saw. This is what we just suggest we do to get your house in order. Okay, to get your body in order. So they'll look at it and they can tell you what you need. So you listen to them, clean up. Okay. Like I said, especially if they're not afraid to enter your home. Like, I just want to clap for them. Thank you. And the piggyback off of this too would be the trash, garbage, and waste management. Like my favorite day, here's like something about me. My favorite day of the week is trash day. Yes, my favorite day of the week is trash day. I love getting rid of trash. I want to make a video about this too, about eliminating waste. We are to eliminate waste, to purge things. This is actually a part of life, to have things that build up and being able to release things. So we build up trash is a natural thing to build up trash because we're living and we create trash. Just like you eat and you have to go to the bathroom, this happens in many layers of life. So trash day is very important to me because if the trash starts to build up, then again, we have health issues. So I think about, I've traveled to different countries and I've been to countries where their waste management systems are not as robust. And as a result, there are trash on the streets. They're in piles and piles on the streets. There's animals rummaging through the trash. It has an odor from far away, an odor, and it just sits there. It's unsightly. Yes. It has an odor. Yes, it could cause health issues with the animals going through it, and it just sitting there for so long, and for days and days and days. I don't even know how long, right? So I am grateful, and that's something I journaled about one day. Like I'm being grateful, that we have a waste management system here. I have a waste management system in my area, and so this is just, you don't have to do anything, but you may want to tell your trash collector thank you next time you see them. If you see housekeeping, tell them thank you because I find them doing very, very, very important work. Okay. And number 11, management. Yes, management. So being able, being able to bring order and organization to large groups is a gift. Okay, so being able to apply or implement rules for structure, doing this effectively and in a balanced way, right? Because you've got to satisfy your higher ups and you got to satisfy your employees, right? So having this balanced, fair, and effective way to maximize and optimize productivity is a skill. It is a gift as well, because in my opinion, or how I feel, is that the universe itself is order. The way the systems are organized and the way the planets orbit around each other, and how delicate human life can thrive at the distance of the sun and thrive off all the earth and all that the earth provides. This is a large, harmonious balance that supersedes sometimes what we can comprehend. I personally believe that chaos is a divine order that we just don't understand. So when we have someone who can take jumbled information or an unorganized system and make order of it, I find this just using a divine skill. So to wrap it up, just to be clear, these skills do not only need to be used in a career. Like I said, these can be used throughout our daily lives. Spirituality transcends the earth plane, and being able to connect it through the earth plane, to connect our spiritual gifts and spiritual information through the earth plane, is what grounding is being able to acknowledge that we are on the earth plane, which is we all share. We are all on this earth. That's one thing that no one will deny. So this is important when you're acknowledging and using your spiritual gifts. Without being able to filter these gifts and information through the earth plane, you risk others not understanding you, others not benefiting from your gifts, and or being called or seen as delusional. So all things on the earth plane are physical manifestations of the spiritual. Certain cultures have completely separated the understanding of this connection, and they see the physical as a standalone. This also reflects in the body, mind, spirit disconnection, which I will discuss at a later time. So for those who are interested in connecting with their own intuitive gifts, to my understanding, a lot of people kind of do this naturally anyway without even knowing it. So it's maybe not something that you have to try and find or search for development. It's more of a realizing that you already have it. And the realization comes from inner work, becoming one with yourself, doing this inner work. And I have videos where I talk about inner work and using your inner resources to kind of help with that. So that is all I have today. I thank you all for listening, and until next time, take care.